Hi, Stamper fans. Welcome to another Make It Monday. Whether you are watching me live here on Facebook or if you're catching the replay on YouTube, I am so glad you're joining me. I'm Nan Gerlitz, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Bloomington, Illinois, and I am here to help you connect with your people, whether that's gathering to craft together or you making handmade items to share with them. It's all about making and deepening those connections. So let's get to it. All right. We have lots to get through tonight. It is a fun fold night, and I have a really fun project to show you, but I have all sorts of other things too. So we'll start, as always, with Friday night stamping. Hello, Penny. Yes, long time no see. I will get to that in a moment. But Friday night stamping by one vote, my dinosaur card won, and I did want to show you. It's got like a window kind of function there, which was hard to tell, I'm sure, from just the front layout, the front picture. So that was very cool. And Penny is the only one that ventured a guess as to which of us made which card that was correct. She was correct that Russ was switching it up and he made the love card. And this card was actually made with a suite of products or a bundle of products that is coming in our September mini catalog, which Penny and I got to play quite a bit with over the weekend. So this is a completely different color palette, but this was using that suite of peaceful wishes, peace on earth. Yes, so very, very cool. And yes, quite a departure because usually he's coloring cute critters and I'm doing, more soft stuff. And we just kind of decided on our own. It just happened that way, that's the way that's what we wanted to make. So I also realized last week I forgot to show you one of my favorite things from the custom striped elements video, and that was this really cool flower roundabout, whatever you want to call it, using the Round We Go dies. So I just die cut one of them out of black and then the other out of my striped elements, and that was really cool. I loved how that turned out. So I didn't want to miss you guys to miss that. The other thing that I realized I never shown you is my Happy Mother's Day cards that I got from the Grand Boys. So this one was from Jeffers. Have a Happy Mother's Day? Not sure, but he colored the background all red because he remembers that is my favorite color. So that is like the sweetest thing in the world. And all my, we love you, and and also I'm the best grandma in the world. So sorry, all you other grandmas. And then James gave me his card, and I can't remember if he asked what these were. And I said, are they chocolate chip cookies? And his face just lit up. Now, I am a person that's usually scared to guess what a child has drawn because, children's drawings are not always very accurate. So I was pretty excited that I got it right. And so was he. And then he told me this one was an M&M cookie and this one was just red M&M cookies because red's my favorite color. So, and he wanted to make sure that he knew that he loves stamping with me. So how awesome is that? And he did bring up, because we did not have time to stamp that day because we were in the pool and all sorts of other things. And the next weekend, I think we went up to see them, and he reminded me that we didn't get to stamp when they were down with us. So they will definitely have to make time to do that next time. So the other thing I wanted to share with you was why Penny and I saw each other over the weekend, and that was for a little virtual event called Creativity Now. It is only for demonstrators, so super fun time for us. And it was a virtual event. So she came down and stayed overnight at my place. So that was a lot of fun because we've missed each other now that I live over 2 hours away. So yeah, we got to have some gab time. We got to have some crafting time. She works at my old library where I used to work. So I got to show her my new library. We went and had dinner. We had a swim. It was a blast, wasn't it? I just had such fun. And yeah, it was a great time. So we will have to do it again and hopefully when our other team member can make it. So, but I wanted to show you the cards that we crafted with this new suite of products, which I think is called Peaceful Garden. So again, these are coming in September for everyone. And in August, other demonstrators will get to pre-order this product as well. So this was a really fun one, just some strips of designer paper, kind of ripped them on the ends, did a little bit of blending, a little bit of die cutting, super simple layout. And they actually showed us during the event, like how you could turn this same idea into a scrapbook page. So it really gave us some great creative ideas. Then we had this one that has this fun little tag that pulls out. Super, super fun. And I love this because this is just a little white strip. This is a strip of, ooh, pretty glimmer paper. And then there's another little strip. That's how big that one is, and that we embossed it. So this is a great layout to use your little strips of, scraps of paper, right? The only thing I will say is we realized afterwards that you really need kind of a full strip of dimensional under here, and then you need a backer so that it doesn't fall through and it doesn't fall down, right? So you learned some things. Then we made a really cool card with a matching envelope. So they walked us through the instructions on how to cut and score and make our own envelope out of the same paper. Again, some more of that pretty glimmer paper. And for those of you that know, glitter's not allowed here in this house. As you all know, it's the herpes of the craft world. You just can't get rid of it. But glimmer paper is nice because it doesn't rub off. So we can have that here. Gorgeous new ribbon with some metallic elements there too. And then you'll notice that that ribbon goes right through that tag, and then you open it up and you have a cool fun fold card, right? These gorgeous doves too. Oh, so pretty. So that is a super duper special card for a super duper special someone, because that's a lot of work, right? To make, you're not going to want to make 60 of those. You might make 5, 10. There you go, Russ. Penny was very concerned about the glimmer paper, but all's good. We've had it here before, and I will say the first time we came out with it, I think I tried it somewhere else at another meeting, and I was like working my thumb over it, like, no, it's not coming off, it's fine. And so when I brought it into the house, he was like, what are you doing? And I rubbed it on him, and I thought he was going to have a heart attack, because I'm mean like that. But yes, and then the last thing we made was this cute little box, which again, some glimmer paper. We did a little blending with the negative of our die cut. And this box is a little untraditional in that it kind of has a twofold, way that it opens, like hinges on both sides. So very, very cool. And that was super simple to make. And then we attached the ribbon so it would stay on, and then you can just tie your bow and la-di-da. So very pretty products, great projects that we made. We had some fun, good ideas. We saw a bunch more demonstrations on not only this suite of products, but other new products that are coming out. So get excited for September, that's for sure. But of course, we've got plenty for you between now and then. Okay, so on to the main event. I have a couple other things to talk about, but I'll wait, and we'll start to craft before we get to that. So it is Fun Fold Week, and we are making not this one, but a version of this quad pop-up card. La! Like, how cool is that? And it is a standard size card, so it is bulky, but it will fit in a standard envelope. If you were going to mail it, it would probably require extra postage because of the thickness. So just be aware of that. So we are going to make one with our Cheers and Sips bundle, and I used the Unbounded Love bundle as well. Let's see here. I have tried very hard to keep myself like on task here, because there's just a lot of little parts to it. And I will give you measurements today, but I will also print measurements in this week's newsletter. So if you have not signed up for my newsletter yet, go ahead and click the link in the video description and sign up for my newsletter. If you are watching this, it is June 23rd, 2025. if you are watching this quite a ways down the road and you still want that particular week's newsletter, go ahead and sign up and then just send me a message that you want this one and I will get that out to you, no problem. So standard size card of Old Olive. We've got some of this beautiful paper from Cheers and Sips. I think this is the first one, or Celebratory Sips, sorry, is what the designer paper is called. And I think this is the first time I'm using this one, but oh my gosh, look at those pretty pinks and purples and greens and gorgeous. I'm pretty sure purple is my second favorite color, so it is what I reach for a lot of times when red is just too much. Okay, and then on the inside of the card, we are also covering both of the inside panels with designer paper. From the same pack, this has just got cloud cover stars on it. So I think you've seen this one before because I have used quite a few pieces of it. And one of the reasons I used this is because it's light enough that if I use like a black pen or a black marker, I can still write my message on it. I don't have to have another piece inside to write a message on. So I don't want to mess up the aesthetic. Okay, so we've got our DSP, front and inside. Okay, let's decorate the front first. We'll get that all done. You know how I usually get my middle done, right? Oh, there you go. Purple has red in it, so it makes perfect sense to you. See? Penny and I are we're like so sisters, right? Just she's a red purple next favorite as well. And why wouldn't you be? Because they're just the best colors. Okay, so I've pre-die cut some things. And I think I was going to pre-stamp some things, but the stamper man was working out of town today, so I had to cook dinner. I know. It's okay though. I did a bang up job. So yeah, and you know, mostly it comes down to if you have a plan, I can do it. But usually I don't even have a plan. So for all of you friends, fans, you'll get that reference. So from our Unbounded Love stamp set, I'm doing a little happy birthday. And that's in our Berry Burst ink. Okay, so before I assemble this, let's close that, right? Because we don't want to end up with a Berry Burst arm. And I'm going to show you how to make a really pretty fake bow that you don't have to tie. And I may have shown you this before, but you know, things like this, it's like the fork bow. You can just never see them too many times. It helps. So there it is. Really cool little addition to all my ribbon spools is this cool thing that kind of keep them under from untangling and everything, right? So I made one for Penny and showed her how to do these as well while she was here. So just another benefit of being on my team. I do fun little things like that for you. So, but of course, I could not even pay her back, you know, in any amount of stuff for the cool snackle box that she brought me. So it's so funny. This is the first time she's been to my house since I've moved. So she said it was a combination host gift and housewarming. She found these snackle boxes and filled it with all sorts of yummy, yummy treats. And so we just snackled on them. Okay, so I have put some adhesive down. If you were going to do it on the back side, you would just do it on the back. I'm actually going to sandwich this ribbon between these two. Okay, so I'm just going to lay it diagonally. I'm going to make my little loop on this end. Right? Yes. Stick it down. I'm going to make another loop over here. Stick it down. And there we go. Like it's literally a perfect bow, right? And then I'll just cut it off and then I'll just cover it and it'll look like I tied this perfect bow, but I didn't have to. And then I'm going to pop this one up on dimensionals. Penny also got a nice tour of my craft room while she was here. So that was super fun. So I'm sure a lot of things behind me look very familiar now, right, Penny? All right, so we'll just sandwich that right there. And so it totally looks like I tied a bow and put that between there, but I didn't have to tie it. And I could make the loops exactly how I wanted them to lay. I'll just pop my little guy back there and my ribbon will stay put. I love it. I did film myself doing a little video of this, so I will be sharing that soon. Oh, my adhesive drawer. So I think I have mentioned before that I actually made a spreadsheet when we were going to do my craft room. I actually made a spreadsheet of all the stuff I had, and then I categorized it all by like, these are adhesives and these are coloring tools and, you know, whatnot. Like I know that all of my ink pads are going to be in there, and I have one of those sorters for my designer papers and one for my punches. I have my blends containers up here. So I knew those were going to go, but I decided I wanted a lot more drawers than cabinets. So that's mostly what I have. And then I labeled every one of my drawers on the top edge in vinyl, so I know exactly what's in each drawer. So, and yes, my top drawer right in front of my station is my adhesive drawer. So, okay, so I had that little die cut there. It was not going to be quite long enough to really stick out very far. So what I decided to do was, there it is. I already lost my adhesive, guys. I just cut it in half, and I will put adhesive on each little end. And then I will stick that down to it. So now I have a longer die cut. Super, super simple way to do it. And now I'm also going to put this on dimensionals. Don't know why I put those away. Silly. And I'm not going to put a dimensional in the middle because that bow has got quite a bit of thickness. Plus I put that on dimensionals. So I'm only going to do the dimensionals on the end. And there is the front of our card. And that would be super pretty. Just let's stop right there, call it a day, right? Absolutely. But no, we're going to go way over the top today. So, okay. So for the inside, let me see where I am. Yes, I'm right. So for the inside, you're going to need 4 squares of basic white. These are each 2 inches square. And then you need 2 strips of berry burst that are 4.5. Where's my little cheat sheet? There we go. 4.5 by 2 1/4. 4.5, 2 1/4. And you're going to score them at 2 1/4. Okay. Give those a good little burnish. Okay. Let's do a little stamping. We've got a little die cutting. So I already die cut out one of my little glasses. I die cut out my umbrella already. Let me see what else I'm doing here. I need to look at my sample. Over the top is your jam. Well, here you go. And I'm sorry, I forgot to show you this when we were down here the other night, because I did want to show you the card in person, but that's okay. You'll get this. Okay. So we've got our Memento ink. We've got, there it is. Like I've got 2 bundles going, so I'm trying to keep everything straight. Got our Cheers and Sips bundle. So the first thing I want to do is give that, anybody see where I put that block? Oh, I'll just use this one. I want to give that glass a better outline. And normally I would do this before I die cut it out of the paper, but it's okay. There we go. Oh, that was pretty good. I'm so amazed at myself. Thank you. I'm so glad the reveal was as good as I hoped. All right, we've got our little, this is like a little, I can't think of the word. You know, like a stick for your cherry or whatever. What do you garnish? A garnish stick. But I always use it as the umbrella pole. Wow, guys, words are very hard. We were having this problem over the weekend too, weren't we, Penny? The swizzle stick, yeah. Okay, so on that one, my little umbrella is going to go on that, obviously. So we'll grab our liquid adhesive, a little bit of that on there. Just put that at a cute little angle. This guy's going to go down in the bottom corner. All righty. And then we're stamping direct on the other two. So we're going to start with what we think is probably lavender. We never could decide. Stamp a couple of those. And then let's grab the, I believe this is rosemary. Sets like this are really nice to do cards like this where you have, you know, little squares you need to fill in because there's lots of little doodads and stuff, right? There's lots of little die cuts because I was thinking about doing more fruit type things, but it just didn't go with the vibe right. So I went with the spicy stuff instead. Not spicy as in hot, right, Penny? Spicy as in flavorful. Okay, so I've got my Old Olive and my Berry Burst blends. We're just going to add a little color to these guys. I do tend to go over the stems just to give it a little more dimension. And then for my rosemary, I did the top leaves, like the upper leaves, in light Old Olive. And then I'm going to grab the darker Old Olive to do the lower leaves. Again, to give a little bit of dimension, a little bit of interest, right? And I am using the bullet tip over here. And I am not getting super neat with this. I am just like, see if I can give you a close-up. I'm just scribbling color over there. Herbaceous. Good word. Very herbaceous. And then we're going to add some of the Berry Burst to our little lavender flowers, which probably should be fresh freesia, but again, that did not go with the color scheme. So Berry Burst it is. And as I always say, when you're doing it yourself, you can color them whatever doggone color you want. Oh, and that's another little thing I did to add some interest. These looked a little blank. So I just took the bullet tip of my Berry Burst and made some dots. So just 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, and 1. So just a little corner detail. Super easy to do. Just make dots. You don't even have to wiggle. You just touch the thing to the paper and that's it. Okay, where's that? There's that. Oh, I need a cheers. So we also want a greeting on the inside. So I'm going to do my cheers to you. And this one happens to line up pretty well together. Like it gets close enough together so I can actually pick them up with one block and stamp them at one time. I'll grab my Berry Burst again. That's a nice color, right? We don't want everything black and white. We just need the black for the outlines of things. I'm going to go really gentle on this because that is a very juicy berry burst pad. All right. I'm going to channel my friend Lucia and do a little fussy cutting on my greeting. It's starting to get messy. It's not really. I mean, by comparison, I know a lot of you guys stamp in a lot messier conditions. Penny was telling me over the weekend that she like stamps on a TV tray, and I cannot even imagine the anxiety I would have trying to do that. So amazing of you. All right, I'm going to go right up here straight, and then I'm going to start curving around the top of my letters. Again, you do not have to be exact. Move the paper, not the scissors. Just keep squeezing those scissors as you move your paper. I am going to come around and do a little wiggling on the bottom until I get to the 2U. And then we're going to go straight down. Okay, super simple. I'm actually going to get this a little bit closer to the bottom there. All right, a lot closer. Okay, and then this one can go on. Yes, I bet it does become challenging. I seriously can't imagine. I know I've done some assembly steps, like on a TV tray or on my coffee table, because, I have the design worked out, like at Christmas time when I'm making a lot of cards, and I'll, be watching a show and doing that at the same time. So if you notice, you can't really tell unless you get really close that that's a separate piece of white, but you can definitely tell the fussy cutting around here, and that's what I wanted. All righty. So these 4 are going to get attached to the inside of our berry strips. Okay. There we go. And I have kind of laid them out how I want them. So I will show you Rusty again. Where is he? We had to decide when we were making Rusty how we wanted our story. Did he end up getting his apples, or did he start out with the apples and then end up mad? So we had to decide. So mine was he started to drop them. He got mad that he dropped them. He decided to pick them up, and then he shoved them all in his mouth. So you do have to kind of decide on your story you want to tell, or just the aesthetic. So it's a very fun card to make. So I'm expecting to see your version, Penny, since over the top is all your jam, right? And my glass here, my wine glass or whatever it is in the glass, that's cut right out of the designer paper. So I didn't even have to color that one. Sweet. Okay, those are all ready. Now, where am I? Now it's time to grab your tear and tape. And I'm going to show you the mechanism that is on the inside. Yes, it will be a fab birthday card. Okay, this is a sample so that you can get, I'm going to hold it up here so you can get a good screenshot of it. So basically this is 5 by 3.5 inches. You score 3/4 of an inch from each side and right down the middle at 2.5 inches. And then you have to score from this point to this point and this point to this point. So I did all the scoring and then I drew over those lines so you could see it better. And I've also told you that this is a mountain fold, 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 and the center is a valley fold. So if you're not familiar with those terms, mountain fold is when you are folding away from you, so it turns into a mountain, right? So both of those are mountain folds. and the diagonals are mountain folds. So you can fold them and then unfold them. And then that middle one is a valley fold. So a valley, see, it creates a valley, right? And then when you do that, you can see that it will eventually pop up all together, just like that inside. So I have cut mine because I used all my cloud cover out of smoky slate. Basically, I kind of want this to disappear. I don't want it to be a focal point of the inside. I just want it to do its job very quietly in the background. So again, I'll do this. Do the folds all the same direction for the outside two and the two diagonals, and then opposite direction for that middle fold. And now we will show you exactly how you attach this. It was much easier than I had anticipated. It's like a lot of steps and a lot of things to think about, but it's actually not as tough as you think. So you're going to want to use tear and tape. You could use liquid glue, but it's going to take a bit to dry. And you don't want to be working this thing back and forth while your liquid glue is still drying. So you're going to put tear and tape on the two outside little strips, the 3/4 inch strips. Okay. And when I use tear and tape, I usually go over it with my bone folder because that gets the adhesive really good and attached to the cardstock. Makes it easier to pull the liner off. Now what you want to do is take this center fold line and match it up with the center fold line of your card. Okay? Hold that in place. Pull your liner off, and then you're just going to tuck that under, lay it flat. Hold the center line in place again, take the liner off the other side, and tuck it under. I am not left-handed. There we go. Okay, so now you can see it's already starting to pop up, and when you fold it, it folds closed, right? And it's very flappy, and it reminded me of the cootie catchers from our middle school days. So we all said the same thing. We're like, ooh, how many do you want? So there is your mechanism for the pop-up. Now to attach our strips. So these are going to get attached to the bottom V and the top V, and only there. So you're only going to put adhesive there. And I actually did liquid glue on mine yesterday when I was mocking everything up. And I think I'm going to switch to tear and tape. I feel like that is going to be better. So just make sure your adhesive does not go past these fold lines, okay? Again, I'm going to burnish those down. And while I have my bone folder out, the other thing I want to do is I want to curve these bottom two corners, these top two corners just a bit. It helps the mechanism move more freely. Just curving them ever so slightly. Okay, so we will go ahead and take off our tear and tape liner from the bottom. When you go to attach this, you obviously want to line up that center fold seam with this center fold seam, and you want to get it close to that point, but you do want to leave a little gap, okay? We'll do that on the other side, and then I will show you again. So really just a thin little valley in the middle there, and there is your mechanism. And it might catch at first, like mine is kind of stopping right about there. So if you just keep working it and working it and working it, that guy didn't stay down. you just keep working it before you either give or send it to the person, it's going to open a lot easier for them. Okay. And as I'm doing this, I'm wondering if liquid glue is the better option, but I think it's fine. I think I just started working it before the adhesive could really attach. There we go. So there is your finished card. How cool is that? Very cool. Exactly. Um, so make sure you're not adding anything around here because you don't want those things to catch on anything. So you're not putting like rhinestones or whatever, or more punch layers or anything in the way. Like that's pretty super spectacular enough, I think. So you don't really need to worry about that. This was the one I had yesterday, and I will say I left more of a gap in here, and it seems like it is sticking more. So make sure you get it really close to that point, but just leave a slight gap. But yeah, that is working much, much better. Super cool. I absolutely love it. Whoever I end up giving it to will, I'm sure, absolutely love it as well. And one of the things Penny and I talked about over the weekend was there are a lot of fun fold cards out there that are like amazing, super cool, but you kind of feel like you have to send instructions with them so that the recipient will know, oh, you're supposed to prop it up like this or open it this way or whatever. This is just, it just opens like a card and all the coolness is right there with no instructions. So I really love that part. And that is why you probably won't see me make some of the fun fold cards that are out there, because I don't like to give something to somebody that they don't know what to do with. So once again, I want to remind you that I will be putting all of the measurements and everything in print in my newsletter this week. So if that is something that you're like, wow, I'm going to have to watch this 3 or 4 times in order to get all that info, if you just subscribe to my newsletter, a lot of that will be in there, and then you can watch for the actual tips. So as I mentioned, it will go into a regular envelope, but as you can see, it is pretty thick. So it is going to take some extra postage if you're going to mail it. I would probably hand deliver this or tuck it into a gift bag, something like that. This would be a really fabulous like wedding card if you get some cool wedding, like those doves in that new suite of products. Be so pretty. Let's see. Anything else I missed there? No. Okay. So I do want to mention a couple of things that we've got going on right now. One of them is, where's my banners? The virtual album retreat. The kit, the month-to-month album retreat kit is available while supplies last. I believe it's still available right now. And that virtual event will be next month in July. I want to say it's like the 14th, 15th, 16th, something like that. But it will be in a private Facebook group, and you'll be invited to that automatically when you purchase the kit. And if you cannot make it live, you can watch the recordings of everything. So they will be giving lots of tips, and I'm sure a lot of other things like that. I also wanted to pop in the comments here. There was a fabulous video that our CEO did showing all 12 of the double layouts that are in this album retreat kit. So if you want to see exactly what you'd be getting and what you'd be making, go ahead and click that link. If you're watching the replay on YouTube, I'm going to put that link in the video description, so you can just click it there. And if you are watching on Facebook, then it's in the comments. But yeah, it's 12 2-page spreads. It's fabulous. My favorite months are February and August, I believe. So I would love to hear what your favorite months are. Let's see. The other thing that's going on right now is our BOGO sale on sweets and sweet products. So like the celebratory Sips designer papers, the Sips or Cheers and Sips bundle. Those are part of a suite. And so you could get those, buy one, get one half off. As I mentioned last week, and I do want to make sure that you are aware, first of all, this sale is only going through the end of the month, so through next Monday, the 30th. and you will get half off your least expensive item. So if you liked 2 bundles, let's say 2 Stamp and Die bundles, and you also liked 2 packs of designer papers, if you put all 4 of those items on one order, you would get half off the 2 packs of paper because those are the least expensive. So if you wanted to do that, I would recommend placing one order for the bundles so you can get one of them half off, and then another order with the designer papers on them. So one of those would be half off. Alrighty. Let's see. I think that might be all I have. Let's pop up here so I can see you. I'm very happy to see that my forehead does not look really, really red in the lighting here. Russ and I were in the pool yesterday watching the Cubs game for, a few hours, and I did sunscreen, but apparently I did not get very close to my hairline. So woke up a little bit red this morning. All righty. Let's see. Oh, next week. Next week is surprise week. It is the 5th Monday of the month. So it's something that I don't have planned on the schedule. So if there's something that you've been wanting to see, you've been wanting to learn more about, a product, a technique, a fun fold, or you want a craft room tour, you want to know how to assemble your stamps or your ink pads or tips on things like that, drop those suggestions in the comments and I will take a look at them and maybe pick one, maybe pick a few, who knows. So, but I'm totally open for ideas for next Monday. All right. That is all I have for tonight. Thanks so much for sticking with me. This is your reminder that if you got some new ideas or inspiration, go ahead and tag your bestie in the comments or share the video with them so that they can learn a thing or two as well. Until next week, I'm still Nan Gerlitz. Happy stamping.